Man, oh man. It's hot as hot gets, but it's great. It is great. Everybody's angry. The age of outrage. People are mad. People are despicable with each other. This episode about outrage doesn't just argue the criticism of government, if or is it wrong. It doesn't defend a particular administration, doesn't defend a specific party, an ideology, doesn't protect an agency or, a protest or a movement or any social group whatsoever. Any kind of crazy identity, one would think this would defend an outrage against another. No, this episode examines a sociological, psychological mechanism, period, done over. It's mechanism through which anger can move from constructive public participation in whatever the dadgum event is, and it moves into a generalized distrust and becomes hostility. Keep this in mind. All races, creed, religions, cultures, subcultures have that constructive public participation in culture, in generalized ideology, belief, function. Other sides that don't agree with it, that builds what? Distrust and hostility based on culturalization, multiculturalization. Well, let's be real about this. It's 2026. When you look at the United States with everything that's happening with multiculturalization and embedment of other cultures and other countries on the globe, well, those countries had culture to begin with. That's just an example. You don't need to try to take it over with another one. We live in an age which nearly every event fathomable that's happening can become a national emergency at the blink of an eye or snap of a finger. Period. Why? Suddenly a video clip appears, something like you're watching here, or somebody does a podcast or a live stream. Then it's headline news in the social media world, when official statements have yet to be released about what the topic of discussion is. It's kind of like the body that was found in Mississippi, the black juvenile, the young man. I think he was like 17, 18. Suddenly it's out all over the internet. Got to get them before they get us. Don't trust the white folks. If you're black, don't go out with rich white kids. You wind up dead. Minutes after, hours after, a day after, things that are released, things that are trigger mechanisms in society that are put out before the facts are discovered, even known by the agencies that are investigating the incident, looking into the incident. This is just an example. At that point in time when the outrage is triggered, sides are selectives. Sides are selectives. You have to select which side you're on, so to say. Most people are going to fall prey to that. Sides are selectives, because when you get the true information that has credibility and validity, suddenly you just may, be that selective individual that selects another side. Motives then change. The assigned information is changed, and anger becomes the public performance, the currency. Social media. Don't trust them. Don't trust us. Yeah, don't trust them. Don't trust us. Get them before they get us. Now, keep in mind, some outrage, some anger, some protest, some emotion has validation. Yeah. Governments fail. Institutions fail. Societies fail. Races fail. Cultures fail. It just is what it is. Races fail. Cultures fail. You can't be selective and assign one failure to a mass collective. That would be the equivalent of saying the United States itself is a failure based on specific institutions. Mistakes happen. Officials misuse authority. All right. Communities experience genuine harm, be it violence, be it, the weather, act of God, a murder in the community. Who knows? It just depends on what the actual incident is. Communities experience genuine harm, and collectively the citizens Both have the right and the responsibility to demand accountability, but the demanding of accountability also entails that the community has the responsibility of accountability within its own community. Yes, race, creed, culture, religion, whatever one identifies as, there's a responsibility mechanism for accountability in that. But the headline news, the information's out there before the actual reality of information with credible terminology in it by those that have the validity to put it out. Yeah. Things you have to consider. What happens when anger becomes part of a personal identity? One singular. Or how about a group identity? Now, everybody knows there are those groups out there that are tagged with angry group, protest group, violent group. It's a personal identity to an identifier, much like exemplar, gangs, Trinidad Agua, MS-13. We're just saying examples, right? And we can use these examples. Why? Because the government, the, so to say, official institution that makes things shake and move in the United States, both sides, Democrat and Republican, have used both of those in terminology for public outrage, for the community to come together due to the community having to assume accountability and responsibility during a genuine experience of harm in the community. The age of outrage, the misinformation. So what we're going to do is we're going to examine the age of outrage, 2026, not simply the political problem, which the political problem is a problem for outrage, but we're not going to focus on that, but the social system that turns citizens against the government against citizens, society, the citizens against each other, against themselves. Unfortunately, that exists in 2026. There's no getting away from it because it's already here. From legitimate anger to permanent outrage, that's what society sees every day. You tune into your favorite gloom and doom broadcast. You tune into your favorite MSNBC, CNN, Fox, your favorite anchor. Now, the side. Who are you going to believe? What CNN says? What MSNBC says? What Fox says? What Newsmax says? Whatever the heck it is you watch. Whatever live stream you watch, whatever cool show you watch. The moral outrage is anger produced by the belief that it's a moral rule, social value, or standard of fairness that has been violated in a specific community, in a specific race, in a specific creed, a specific culture, subculture, age group, identifying group. Yeah, the moral violation of you, how you fit in, because you see yourself as the part of the sum, part of the equation, part of the collective, not the single outlier. So that social value, that moral value applies to you in the collective that you choose to be a part of. Yes, choose to be a part of. One would say, well, I can't help the race that I was born. Yeah, that is right. But you can choose the collective moral ought to, ought not rule, good behavior, bad behavior within your own race that's acceptable for the construct of better in the community. Right? Accountability, responsibility. Let's be for real about this, guys. I mean, you can't argue it. Everybody's heard of white fatigue, black fatigue, rural fatigue, urban fatigue, all these fatigues that are out there. And it's not just the opposite side saying these fatigues. There are some within the collective of the group, the race, creed, culture, subculture, identifying this as well. So you can't just point a finger at something. It exists across the board. Moral outrage can support justice as well by drawing attention to misconduct, bad behavior, encouraging the collective action of society, the citizenry of a city, county, whatever, a group, organization, race, religion, creed, subculture. However, there's a blunt, dull spoon to this too. The online environment, that's the blunt, dull spoon. The twist, the no validity, the no credibility. It can reward repeated expressive anger. Yeah. Why? People like to hear that. What sells? Satan and sin sell. That's just is what it is. Anger sells. Intensity, gloom and doom. So that's the blunt, dull spoon that creates more shaving damage and more blunt force trauma and lacerative damage versus a nice clean cut of good, bad, incised. The expressive behavior. Angry sheep follow angry sheep. Angry sheep do not follow the angry coyote. What's worse, the wolf or the coyote? The coyote that will grin at you and show you its teeth and smile, while the wolf shows you nothing. It just has a triggered moment and suddenly you're bleeding. But the coyote's going to show you the teeth and smile at the same time. It's just kind of a twist. Outrage. The more intense the foundation of information, the more frequent outrage and anger is going to be prevalent in society. Might otherwise be, I don't know, non-profitable, so to say. I mean, look at social media. People make money off of telling you the gloom and the doom stories. Chats are open. We're on YouTube, Rumble, and X. I know it's Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock Central Time, and everybody's got better things to be doing. Chats are open, and we've also got the university node going. We got 4 nodes going, so I don't know where they're coming from. We just got 4 nodes going. We got 2 going overseas, too, so that's what this is up here. Right up there. Stuff that's shifting. It's a server node. No, I do not run it, and I have a mod and an admin for that. So let's move on with this. Anger is not automatically irrational, okay? It's not. It can alert people to unfairness, corruption, abuse, discrimination, civil right violation, institution failure, government failure. So anger is not a immoral or irrational emotion, all right? It happens. The danger arises when anger itself, the emotion, continues after reliable evidence becomes available to society or the angry person singularly or group, when the information is available, or when no possible corrective action is considered sufficient. Yeah, it's kind of like you hear, defund the police, defund the police. Heard that all through the COVID venture. Heard that all through the first Trump venture of president. Then when Biden became president, first State of the Union, anybody remember? Anybody remember this? Fund the police. Yeah, Biden said it himself, and suddenly the whole Democratic and left side of the Congress lost their shit. Yep, right on live TV. Put it in the chat if you want me to find that on YouTube. I'll pull it up real quick. Fund the police. Anger. Oh my gosh. This is just a simple example. It's not a discriminatory, it's an institution breakdown and failure. The reward versus the consequence. The collective reasoning, the corrective action. It's not considered efficient now since we fought so hard to get the point across, but now our own side is creating the oblique secondary door of everything we've said is wrong. And we're not arguing which side is right for political venue. We're trying to give the exemplars. This is just an example of institutional failure. Social reinforcement means that behavior becomes more likely when it receives a reward. Think of a protest. Think of a riot. Think of everybody that goes out and solicits. Let's go riot. Everybody's heard the rumors, you know, this person pays for rioters and protests, and somebody's got to pay for the bricks to be dropped off and the signs to be made. We've heard this, okay? The reward for the success, the online successes like the shares, the attentions, the followers. Click like if you like. You know, the algorithm encourages people to express a stronger outrage in the future without having reliable evidence, credibility, validity for their own action. Any of you ever had a conversation with somebody that was at a protest or had a disagreement or was angry and they really couldn't break it down fundamentally what the reason was that triggered the anger, the emotion, the outburst, the antagonistic verbiage to you once you put them on the spot? Yeah, people may exaggerate their anger because their social grouping choice expects the outrage. Social grouping choice. The sheep are mad, so the head sheep should be what? Mad. Yeah. The Boy Scouts are mad, so the Boy Scout leader should be mad. The president's mad, so the country should be mad. Just simple examples. The pastor's mad, so the congregation, the flock and the herd of the sheep and the herd of the church should be angry. This creates an expressive norm. That's all it is. It's this human tribal faction, human tribal expression. The moral law too. I chose to be here. The meaning, I'm part of it. I don't want to be an outlier. It's the norm for my own choice, meaning an informal rule about which emotion is being chosen. People are simply going to follow the informal rule. Why? It's the governance of the tribal emotion, the trigger. It just is what it is. Look at specific parties, governmental parties. I mean, Democrat, left wing. You hear expressions now that, the new Republicans are the Republicans and the rhinos are the old school Democrat, and the Democrat and leftists are the new communists of 2026. So which way do you go with the credibility and validity of the meaning of the rule of emotion within that group? What's the outrage? Group members are expected to display this publicly because they've got to fall in line with that selective choice. Who they chose to be angry with, who they chose not to be angry with, what group they chose. Is their anger a warning signal individually, or is it a social push or social movement? The interpretation of it, the credibility and validity, that's the stem of profiteering. Yep, the government profits from your emotion and your anger. Anger can communicate also. Anger that an individual or group believe. All right, a single individual or group, a amount of anger that is believed to be important. It's an important boundary that has been crossed or can be crossed. Let me explain this. It may motivate investigation, voting, protest, legal action. It's a word. Whistleblowers. Yeah, everybody's heard whistleblowers. Whistleblowers is a oxymoron reflective, moral ought to, moral ought not on itself. It even sparks public debate. Let's get back to the whistleblower. If it's a whistleblower and the whistleblower knew it was happening and the whistleblower knew that it would spark public outrage, anger, but the whistleblower did what? Accountability. Lack of accountability. Inattentive. Non-concern for the consequences of one's own actions within the organization that is now going to aid in the moral ought not of creation of the public outrage. So your whistleblowers are, if you look at it on a gold in one hand, doo-doo in the other hand, your whistleblowers are right there on the doo-doo side of the scale because they knew about it. It just took a selective measure of credibility and validity of I'm going to be safe now that I can blow the whistle. Everybody likes to put a lot of, gold stickers on the actual whistleblowers. And it doesn't work that way. Whistleblowers are, hive mind? Yeah, whistleblowers are part of the dadgum hive mind too. Just is what it is. Is what it is. The audience should, therefore, especially the nodes, the server node, the chat down, I think. No, it's not up. Yeah, it's up. 9-1, I'm reading this. This needs to be Yeah, okay, 9.2 within the actual course syllabus. No, we're not going to discuss that here. You're going more into the politically holy crap deep dive. You don't want to do that right here. Nobody, unless you want a gloom and doom show. I'm not doing that. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, 9.2. You go ahead and ask yourself, what specific behavior causes anger? Period. The evidence. What evidence supports the claim of anger? Emotional outburst. Credibility, validity. What's the remedy? The reasonability to address why you're angry. Think of the whistleblower. Sure, the whistleblower's angry, but the whistleblower is part of the derogatory side, the negative side of what would be the public outrage, the public outburst in society because of a specific entity or failure, institutional. What about a sociological failure? There are failures in every race, group, religion, culture, subculture. This is what it is. Failures within themselves to where they identify it themselves. And look at it. White fatigue, cultural fatigue, black fatigue. You can type it up all day long in social media and find black releasers of content. Black fatigue against black people, white against white people, vice versa, religion against religion, Islam fighting Islam, and on YouTube and Rumble. I mean, it's not rocket science. You can find it. The process of trying to research the social feedback or expression for anger becomes anger itself. It's hard to find. The process resembles reinforcement of learning. Yeah, the rules of learning, the rule and law or law of intensity, recency, which means learning through reward and consequence, and the intensity. Is the reward so intense that you're willing to get more credibility and validity in the information that you're disseminating online, content creation, news media? It's kind of like the news media on, Air Force One with Trump, President Trump, right? Yeah, I said President Trump. Or was it Biden wasn't the president? It was a cheat. Well, he was there for 4 daggum years. I didn't see anybody step up and be Superman and knock the president off the, pole of the president. So anger, outrage. Who's this guy? He wasn't my president. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, he was. He was there for 4 years. Yay, Trump won the presidency back. Yeah, so that means you recognized it, pinhead. A person may be commenting on a genuine issue, like a concern, but that doesn't mean that the concern or the issue has credibility or validation. It's learning, the reward, the consequence. The words coming out of your mouth is the reward for information or feedback worth the consequence of somebody discrediting you, destroying your validity, cutting your throat, so to say, in the conversation. Anybody ever had that argument to where you lost the argument and then the next day you were like, oh crap, if I would have had this in my head yesterday during that argument, I would have won the argument. Man, I would have been so successful. So you try your damnedest. Reward, consequence, spark the argument back up again so that you can win the reward. You can get it back. Look at that. Credibility and validity in me. The result can be an outrage cycle singularly. So it can be an outrage cycle emotionally within the tribal aspect, the hive, the group. Yeah, it happens that way. Follow the leader. It's the social reward. The stronger the emotional claim, the larger the audience is going to be. The further the escalation's going to be. It's not rocket science. You see it all day long. It happens. It's a highly divided environment in 2026. Failing to express any amount of anger may trigger anger itself. Are you mad? Did you hear? What's your emotions on it? How do you feel about this? I think, feel, believe has no credibility. Period. So when people ask you the indifference weakness question of, what do you think? How do you feel? Wave at it like a burning pirate ship covered in coyote poop. It's worthless. It's a trigger. It's an emotional outrage trigger. I think, feel, believe, possibilities. There's no credibility or validity in it. People in society. Also, the outrage that can be displayed. People display outrage simply because they're only emotionally triggered and they're angry. That's it. There's no cognitive accountability to it. There's no assessment of validity to it. It's like watching a protest. Anybody here ever really been to a protest? Heard the voices? Ask them, well, I'm not going to talk to you because you're on the other side. You see that all the time. Interviewers, content makers, political side that's on the opposite side of the protester. Why are you here? How do you feel the country or the institution is betraying you? What is the weakness, the indifference? I'm not going to talk to you. Oh, it's a trap. It's a setup. Well, that's your time, whistleblower. Get it out there. Get the outrage out there. But yet the outrage is a follow the leader sheep tribal mentality. Yep. It's the horde of weak, betraying hive minds, the weakness. Something to prove the loyalty. That's all it is in the community. Prove the political side loyalty. Once outrage becomes a membership requirement, much like a due or a fee, compromise now becomes a requirement. Compromise becomes dangerous because moderation of compromise may threaten a person's standing within the group. No one wants to be the outlier. You joined the group for a reason. So the outrage of the group needs to be your outrage. How do you feel? What do you think? What do you believe? What's your opinion? Based on what? Non-credibility, non-validity, the laws of learning, intensity, recency, validity, perceived outrage versus the actual outcome. Perceived outrage versus actual outrage. Actual outrage created through credibility and validity. Social media users can overestimate how angry people are. We've seen this. The polls say, yeah, the city's angry. The people are in a tizzy. Well, yeah. The more you say it, the more likes and clicks you get. The more dollars you get. The more, what? Hooked in, join, followers you get. That's what you get. Rage baiting. Yep, rage baiting is it too. Let me see. Real life. Nah, it doesn't explain a lot, trust me. It explains enough, but we're trying to explain a lot without going into hurt somebody's feelings on the left, right, religion, race, culture, because that's where the triggers are. Knowing how to not simply softly, gently, long range pull the trigger, but ghetto sideways blast the actual projectile trigger. That's what the strong standing point of triggering the non-moderated anger would be. Once anger is that membership level, right? It's you're sucked in. Anger's a membership level in race, creed, religion, culture, gender, identity. Think of your jobs, man. Think of what you do. Social media can overestimate it. You don't think the actual religion, the culture, the race, the subculture, whatever group or identity you choose to be with can inflate it. How angry you are versus how angry the other people are within the organization or tribal clique that you've chosen to be a member of. Yeah, it is. You want to be a part of that group, not the opposing group that's hated by the other. You want to be the actual outrage, the power. It's sales. It's a money maker. 2026. It's a Karen. Yeah, it's a Karen. It's a crybaby. It's a Paul. It's a Buffy. It's a Biff. It's a collector emotion. Simple triggers. Overperception. Yep, overperception of the outrage means the observer believes a behavior or emotion is more common or more intense than it truly is. It's kind of like I'll use example, the black kid in Mississippi, dead. Was it Hook Island or something like that? Now all the videos coming out. Got to get them before they get us again. Why? Stabbing in Texas. It was self-defense. And videos come out and suddenly it's like, we're going to defend him anyway just because he's black. Or we're going to defend the white kids if they killed a black kid just because they're what? White. The anger, the hook, the collective. No facts, no validity. The overperception. It's true, the intensity. It's sales, it makes money, and all of you in society buy into that crap because you suck into it. Now, we don't make any money on this show, but all the shows you watch make the cash and make it off of your outrage and your anger. That needs to be a discussion. What? Yeah. Well, it needs to be a discussion. Yeah, true. It is a discussion, but you don't have that discussion until the true facts are out. Kind of like the perceived threat. Perceived threats can become self-reinforcing too. Got to get them before they get us. Black people got to get the white people. Jewish people got to get the Muslim people. Muslim people got to get the white people. The threat of intensity. That's where it is. That's why you hear everybody out there on the social media circuit and that work all. They come for me. I can protect myself. I got training. I got this. I got kit. I got gear. I got this. And all these freaking pinheads out there. Survival, doom and gloom. Watch my show. We're going to shut the... No. 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 The majority of the country, less than 2% join the military, less than 3.6 go into law enforcement. So you know that higher percentage of people that have the experience are veterans of the two. They either keep their training up against the opposing group, the reaction of anger, protest, and then there's the 80% or higher that is a Cheeto-eating ding-dong lazy on the couch. It just is what it is. So you're not going to do anything. You're not going to be able to become that defensive hostility mechanism of the produced overperception of anger for your group. It sells. You watch the stuff. How many of you play Grand Theft Auto? Murder, rape, pimping. Yeah, guns, knives. You spend that money. Can't wait for Grand Theft Auto 10,000 to come out so you can make little Julio your character and go jack a car. Fictitious world, but the moral alt 2, alt not of society. The anger level should stop functioning when you turn the TV off. The accountability begins in reality. The functioning entertainment, the identity, the social status. That's the primary reason it sells. It's the primary reason you hit likes and subscribes and joins. When does justified anger stop? Yeah. When does justified anger stop functioning? As accountability begins? That's a singular question. The entertainment identity versus accountability. Kind of like the whistleblower, right? I was a whistleblower. Accountability. The entertainment. The function. You knew it was bad. You knew it was going on. That's why you're now a whistleblower. You did nothing about it. You didn't want to become the opposing group against your own entity that you knew was corrupt or doing something morally ought not to do. The overperception of you, self-conservation. Whistleblowers. God, I can't stand that. Can't stand it. We can hate it. I'm a whistleblower. Yeah, we got a confidential source. We got a whistleblower. And okay, you've got a accessory during, accessory after, and possibly an accessory before the fact of whatever it may be. Whatever accountability or function it was, you've got accessory to it that, I don't know, aided, didn't want to be the outlier of the group. Oh, I can't be the opposing group. Oh, can't. The cops are coming for an investigation. This race is angry at us. This culture, these people. Yeah, whistleblowers. This, whatever. Credibility and validity is always questionable. The transition, the group, the goals, the change. That's how whistleblowers created. So everybody likes to hear that, whistleblower. What about Candace Owens? Anybody watching the trial, the Charlie Kirk trial? Haven't heard crap out of her sewer for, a couple hours? Yeah, I say sewer. A lot of people out there make money. Yep, I said it. Sewer. Her mouth. A lot of accusation, a lot of finger pointing. I believe. Yeah. You don't believe me? Go on the Sean Ryan show. I think, I feel, I believe, this, that, the other. No credibility, no validity. Nothing. No factual pretext of an identity of a status of an item in the case whatsoever. And no evidentiary value. Nothing. I think, I feel. Proving group loyalty. That's all that is, people. Got to stay in the group. The humiliating opponents. The humiliating opponents. That's a faction within the group one wants to participate in. You're going to sustain the permanent emotional non-conflict within your own group because you want to be in it, but you're going to participate in the humiliation conflict against the other group. Got to be part of the clique, right? Got to be in the moment, part of the herd, part of the hive, part of the collective. Like a bad Star Trek movie. And the Borg. Anybody here know what I'm talking about? The Borg, Star Trek? Yep, is what it is. Outrage against the government. Oof, that's a big one, isn't it? The government. What's his name? Grandpa touches me bad and angry orange man? Yes. Democrats, Republicans, left wing, right wing, Muslims, Christians, Jews. God. It's all over the place. The institution. Let's talk about that for a minute. We're not choosing sides, but institutional trust is the belief that public institution is generally competent, fair, lawful, capable of correcting its own mistakes and identifying its own mistakes. Bollocks. Bullcrap. Period. Think of a law enforcement agency. It's easier for a law enforcement agency to identify a mistake, identify a problem, and release it to the public and say, this is what happened, we've taken action, and this is the measure or the means or the corrective means that we're going to take to ensure these mistakes do not happen again. Or something happens, the agency knew what was happening, the agency didn't do anything about it, or the agency did do something about it, but it really wasn't good enough because it happened again, and now it's found out and society finds out. Now society's outraged. Yes, society's outraged, so now we have a whistleblower in the department that knew. Okay, didn't you take an oath? So shouldn't you have blown the whistle to a higher investigating authority? Yeah, well, it's the department. Well, you have state. Well, it's state. Well, you have federal. Well, it's federal. Well, you have the DOJ and all kind of federal entities within the DOJ. Man, institutional competency. The whistleblowers are everywhere. Sewer mouths and sewer, I feel to encourage outrage. Trust does not mean unconditional obedience, people. It doesn't. It's like saying integrity is honesty. No, integrity is doing what you're supposed to be doing while no one's looking. Honesty is simply as it is. Telling the truth, good or bad. Reward, consequence, whether both be damned good or both be damned, period. Bad. Telling the truth. Healthy democratic trust, right? Healthy democratic. I didn't say Democratic Party, right? Democratic principles under a republic of a country. Healthy democratic principles. Trust allows criticism while preventing the belief that the procedures, evidence, oversight, and lawful reform is flawed or can still work. Yeah, it allows trust in it. It allows trust in both ways. Not that it's always going to work, not that it's always going to be perfect, because general competency is up to you people. All of you watching. Yes, it's up to you. It's not up to the senator or the congressman or the president or the person that all of you voted for to sit in the seat of power because you think, believed, feel that they're competent. So you put them there. The procedures, the evidence, the oversight, the lawful reform of executive, legislative, judicial. Yeah. You put them there in the executive body to write those legislative words of law so that other people in executive positions that are voted in, like a sheriff, enforce that legislative word of law, that first hand, that might, that touch, that dull edge of the dull, sharp, non-shiny spoon. Yeah. The judiciary review. It generalizes distrust. That's just an example. Think of religion. Think of school. Think of the failure of the church. Yes, all religions. Think of the success stories of the church and all religions. Yeah, failures across the board, deceptive, legitimate, illegitimate, regardless of available evidence. Why? Outrage, the institution, the concept. You want to be part of the institution you chose to be in. You don't want to be the outlier. You don't want to be the one that's shunned. Look at Becky over there. We thought she was part of us. Look at Bob. Can't trust him anymore. He's a whistleblower. Whistleblowers. Yep. The criminals. Those that aided in the immoral act. Those that were there. Sewers. That's just what they are. Sewers. Public trust, guys. Public trust can be damaged by real institutional failures. Real ones. Not just ones that are made up or I think, feel, believe, or my feelings got hurt or they didn't agree with me. Yeah, it's kind of like the NAACP. Everybody hears that and they think, where are the black people? No, it's colored. Colored. Public trust, it introduces dishonesty and inconsistent enforcement of rule, policy, procedure, corruption, poor lack of communication skills, training, unfair procedure, failure to omit, I don't know, like the police departments, omit or admit failure and mistakes. Yeah, it's easier to hide it until somebody finds out about it. Let's get a good cover story. We'll get a good whistleblower. Yeah, that'll make us look good. Yep. Anxiety, anger and anxiety, the outrage. You're falling sucker to this. Now, some of you are going to watch this later tonight while you're scrolling through your super crazy node server channels, which you got here for the university, or YouTube, X, Rumble. We get more views on Rumble than we get YouTube. We're thinking about just skewing it out of YouTube. YouTube's got a lot of garbage in it. It's really, yeah, YouTube, I'm talking about you. Yep. A lot of garbage in it and a whole lot of restrictions, so to say. Not that you're not free speech or nothing, because you're YouTube. YouTube. Yeah, with a D, not T. Anxiety. The anxiety of anger, the outrage, the anxiety of going to the protest, the anxiety of going to the argument, the anxiety of going to the courtroom, the anxiety of going to face the masses for the corruption, the inconsistency of information, the poor communication, the anxiety, the mistrust, because people searching for explanations, the truth, credibility, and validity become more receptive to claims that leaders are experts, leaders are members of agencies, the entire system is internally causing harm. Yes, harm. That's what people are searching for. Harm. Why? The chaos bid, the doom and the gloom. Anger sells. Yeah, it does, guys. It sells. Anger sells. Let's be real about this. You wouldn't watch it if it wasn't boring. You wouldn't go watch that new John Wick 7. Rambo 39, Rambo fights the VA. You wouldn't go watch any of that stuff if it didn't have gloom and doom with an intentional cause of harm, the poor communication, the unfair procedural process. There is no look at the hero. It's not a Super Friends movie, right? Not anymore. Distrust can encourage political involvement too. Distrust can encourage political involvement too. Yeah, it can. Is it going to be good involvement or bad involvement? That's the political protest now, but it serves as simple generalized distrust and can also reduce cooperation within the own entity, the group. What do you think? Republicans have Republicans, and then they have rhinos now. Democrats have left-wing, separate identities of Democrats. Look at the church. How many church? Church of the Latter-day Baptist Southern Convention of Protestant Angel Dove. How many? What the? Why? It's ridiculous. It's insane. Distrust of one organization. Multiple organizations exhibiting distrust. The encouragement of political involvement. The protest of it. Makes a corrective information failure. Yep, less pervasive, so to say. The process of outrage extinguishment will fail all on its own. Then there's the digital media like you're on right now, the IT, the social media, what you select, what you want to watch. Is it your political system platform? How do you use it? Is it persuasive? Does it identify specific associations that capture your attention, your own specific protocol levels, lower the political trust in you, increase your own view of polarization, how you're going to polarize a specific group outside of you because you're too angered. The movement, the push, the people searching for explanations, more receptive to the complaints or the claims that your leaders are better than the others. The experts in your agency are better. Your whistleblowers are better. Your whistleblowers, your accessories before, during, and after, your corrupt sons of that are pollutants that you followed, that you allowed. Yep, the increased polarization. the healthy skepticism of, I don't know, us versus generalized distrust. When I say us, I mean society. Society's healthy skepticism. Skepticism means withholding judgment until adequate evidence is available. Period. That's all it is. That's the I feel, I believe, I think. Got to get them before they get us. Based on what the media has told us, based on what our leaders, our groups, our calling, our choice of where we're going to be, where we're going to sit. It's just what it is. Skepticism. It's not an important part of the democratic citizenship, so to say. The democracy under the Republic of the Constitution for the United States. It's not a Democratic Party, people. It's not a Republican Party. It's a republic. Good God. It's generalized distrust all in the interpretation. Look at the educational system. Look at the officials you vote for. Yeah, the officials you vote for. You vote for them for a reason, to think, I feel the polarization. You're polarizing politically. Yeah, don't want to hear that. I'm not going to watch my group's convention. Well, if you're going to watch the Republican, you watch the Democrats. You're going to watch the conservatives. You watch the libertarians take a knee and cry. I mean, it is what it is. I said it. Libertarians take a knee. When have you ever seen a libertarian group or independent group ever do anything freaking successful? Well, let's be for real about this. I mean, come on. It's not a political show, but good grief. It falls within my spectrum of CJ psychology, all right? Especially forensic psychology. It falls within it. Never. Nothing successful, guys. Nothing. Nothing. Generalized distrust. The official examination of explanation. True, false. All investigations are controlled. Yes, they are. All inquiries are controlled. The healthy skepticism. They're controlled, people. Outcomes. Outcomes at times are predetermined. Why? Because you know the course and the identity of those associated with the investigation. That's just how it works. The populist sentiment. We voted for these people to put them in power. There's no problem here, Batman. It is no. It's a null hypothesis versus a real alternate hypothesis. The police department hit it. The agency, the government, the Democrats, the Republicans, they hit it. The conservatives, the libertarians dropped the ball. We know about it anyway because they all took a knee and became whistleblowers. Just is what it is. Withholding the true judgmental process of the execution of an investigation. Yeah, the judgmental process of the execution of the investigation. Who's going to be in the judgmental seat to choose who are the ones leading the investigation? The healthy skepticism versus the general just total distrust. Outrage. People suck into this. They buy it. They clickbait it. I could make a short about this and it'd probably get like 2,000 damn views in a couple hours. Enough to point fingers at people. Just is what it is. Skepticism, the satisfying transparency of evidence. Yeah. It's skepticism. It can also be satisfied by real evidence that is transparent. Skepticism in itself is not transparency. It's a generalization. It's a guess. It's, I think, feel, buffoonery, fool's words. What do you think, Becky? What do you think, Bob? How do you feel? Tell us how you feel. Why are you out here protesting? Oh, you're on the other side. I can't talk to you. No transparency, skepticism, generalized distrust. Often can't be, so to say, satisfied because the contrary evidence is reinterpreted as additional proof is presented. Or it's just simply a conspiracy. Tinfoil hat wear, right? We landed on the moon. We flew to Mars. The Mars rover. Conspiracy. Yeah. We have dinosaur bones. Conspiracy theory. And the healthy society must preserve the ability to challenge authority without assuming that every authority is automatically criminally based or illegitimate, guys. But you got to be able to have that conversation. It just is what it is. Just is what it is. I know somebody's going to watch this and say, this guy's insane. He's just, yeah. Insane only because you're insane. You vote for the executive, judicial, legislative side. You vote for the main power punchers for the outrage in society that are consuming based off of you and your anger, your hate, and your outrage. What better? What did Hillary Clinton say? Never let a pandemic go to waste? Yeah. Never let a pandemic or a problem in society go to waste when a specific entity can profit automatically, whether it's legitimate, illegitimate, criminal, non-criminal, civil rights, race, creed, culture, religion, black versus white, brown versus yellow, whatever. It's out there. You're buying into it. Yeah, whatever it is. It's not whatever Becky or Biff. Whatever, you can get out there and make a choice. You can choose. What's up with this node server? Did it freeze? I think it froze. Yeah, it froze like at 2:11. It's 2:55. Time for admin. Not right now. We'll get that fixed. There's going to be a lot of pissed off people on that thing. You didn't answer our questions, Dr. Gurley. Bad professor. Well, okay, the node froze. Is what it is, man. Is what it is. Let's close off with a few more things so everybody can get back to their Saturday and enjoy the day. We're going to close off with two things. Citizens and the government. Citizens are more likely to accept an unfavorable decision when they simply believe they were heard. Unfavorable. You don't like it. It was bad. But you're still going to accept it because somebody said, yes, we let you voice your opinion. We listened to you. We treated you respectfully, non-judgmental, judged under neutral rules, because you're part of our party, our group, our entity. Even though it's not good for you, but you should still trust it and accept it. Yeah. Procedural justice within the organization that you chose to be in. It's fair, it's consistent. There was a transparent process, so you're going to eat the unfavorable decision. Yes, suck it up, Buttercup. Take one for the team. That's what you're expected to do. That's what the government expects you to do. That's what society expects you to do. That's what IT, social media, the news networks, your race, your creed, your culture, your subculture, your religions. That's what is expected from you. The groups that you're in. Don't be inquisitive. Do not practice Wadsworth laws of learning, investigation, intensity. Yeah, don't practice that. Just take it. We let you talk. Now suck it. Eat the words we're giving you. The contradiction. Yeah, it's a contradiction. It appears evasive, but government communication, it's your group. You chose it. Your religion, you choose to stay there, just like a government level communication. It's a religious communication, a cultural communication, entity, institutional communication. You choose to stay there under the judgment of neutral rule. So the public outrage now is for you is like, you better put that public outrage fire out, Timmy. It's not working for you. You're part of us. You're not the outlier unless you want to be dismissed and be the outlier because we see you as contradictory, dismissive, and evasive. The overrule of what we tell you. The overlay of defense. Can't see that outrage, can you? It's kind of like the protesters that can't explain why they're there. You don't believe me? Type it. Go do your own damn research for it. All day long. It's kind of like the news media. Why did you get on this airplane? Because of the threat, and he's the most wanted guy on the planet. And your dumb butt is on the airplane with him. Stupid. They're going to blow that airplane out of the sky. Well, I hope you got a good insurance policy, man. Yep. They don't consider that. Got to get the information out there. Got to get the orange man bad out there. Look at all the money you wasted, angry orange man. Yes. Here's what it is. Institutional legitimacy. The government communication. Your own institution, your religion, your school, your church, your collective group of chess players, whatever the heck it is you do. Cupcake council. The governmental communication within that. There is a judiciary review. There is an executive, legislative, judiciary. Somebody's in charge. Somebody's the head honcho. Somebody's the head boss. Somebody's the chief of the Indians, right? The institutional legitimacy. Somebody's the trigger, the instrument, the incise tool of measure for the protest. And it's typically the loud, annoying moron with the loud megaphone. Yeah, we know what we're talking about, right? The one just rambling on crap that you can't understand. And there's always the dumbass with the drum. Just the public outrage. You don't want to dismiss it, right? Because you're now part of the overlaying offense. The institutional legitimacy. You have to be part of it. The governmental identity that decides what you should believe, what you should review, how you should correct it on your own, how you should enforce it. Yes, during the crisis, your own institutional legitimacy. Oh my God, the cupcakes are on fire. Institutional legitimacy. You used the wrong pan. No, Bob set the damn thing on 650 versus 4. No, it was you. We gave you a chance to talk and gave you a chance to cook cupcakes and make the good, sweetie, fat food so you can talk like Jabba the Hutt and look like Jabba the Hutt in a few weeks, but it's your fault. Yeah, okay, the oven was on 650, we understand, but it's you. It's a crisis. The officials must be heard. The communication. Every fact is known. But it's the officials, the ones that you follow. Yep. The consumer wants what the consumer wants, and the consumer will get what the consumer wants. Anger, outrage. And those that capitalize on your anger and outrage, they're a consumer too. Yeah, they're a consumer to you. What is it everybody likes to say? We voted you in, you work for us. They're a consumer. They wanted your vote. They got it. They're a consumer to you. So think about that the next time you're a organization. Think about that, the next time. Becky, the head bee of the cupcake crew. They were a consumer to you. So the trust gap develops. The citizens interpret corrections as proof of deception. Yeah, corrections as proof of deception. Well, you made this correction, so that proves you did something wrong. No, it just proves you were a dumbass. You were a dumbass. Yeah, you were a dumbass. You voted them into the position. Executive, judicial, legislative outrage. They're making money. The government is winning off of your emotional temper tantrums. Have a great Saturday.